Well, if we were using GardenCAD to take off some elevations of a design such as this, these poles through here are, I think, 200mm circular galvanized poles to support a pergola, so we'd clearly want to hatch these. So let's zoom in on a couple of the poles or three of the poles and see if we can hatch them. Now the hatch command is called up by draw and hatch, and we in this case want to do a solid hatch. If we select the pick points option and click it and click into the middle here, if we get lucky, it will radiate, it being the CAD program, will radiate out and find the hatching zone. Now the reason that it's missed that little piece down through there is that this block that I've brought in has got some entities out in that zone. We could get into the block there. In fact, the names of the plant, they're hidden, but they're still there. They still affect the hatching. If we wanted to get in there and fix that up, and I'll do that over on the next one, I would draw a polyline, but just for the moment we'll accept that because it in fact might get us a reasonably interesting result, so we'll go OK. So now that pole gets filled with the drawing colour, but can you see we miss that zone through there. This will be a bearer at the top there, of course. So here's the pole. Well, a more controllable way to hatch, especially when you've got tricky zones, is to draw a polyline around the area that you wish to hatch, and I've done that on a layer called hatch, and I've set the drawing colour to that layer to be red so that I can see it. So I've traced over the pole that was white on layer 0. So to hatch it now becomes very simple. It's just draw hatch. We've got a solid hatch pattern. Our drawing colour is by layer, and we can just pick entities and then just click on it and then right click and OK that, and in goes our hatching. Now the previous, and at that point you could go and maybe turn off the hatching layer. That would be relatively straightforward. Layer dialog, and we'll turn off our hatching layer, and our red line disappears. So you might, in fact you might call it a hatch construction layer or something like that, so that you can just draw on it and hatch entities. So my drawing colour over here was set to light grey. Here my drawing colour is by layer. If I click on the hatching, go to properties, changing the colour, instead of by layer we could say light grey to match the other one, and hit the escape key and we're back there. Now our poles match one another. Now there's no reason, since this pole is identical, there's no reason why you couldn't click on that, right click, copy, snap to that point there and come across there and do that, and the next pole is in. So I'll just zoom out a little and pan down so you can see we're building our elevation of the zone through there. We've of course got to get another pole in this position here, and I've dropped a line from the outside there, so I need to move that pole to the inside of that line, and you should be able to see that's relatively easy to do. If you want to arrange your planting, your elevation symbols, you need to then go to, so one is behind the other if that's appropriate. It's not in this case, but that's where layers and layer order comes in, and you just change the stacking order of your layers there, as you see in other sections. So that's hatching. A quick look at hatching. By no means an exhaustive look.